welcome to Fancast Podcast. Hello, Ace. Thank you for coming to chat. Hi, how are you? Hi, Vic. I don't know why, but
Is it frozen?
yeah, it is. I don't know why.
Yikes.
Okay, it is okay. It is okay. It is not. It is. Oh, it is not frozen anymore. Hello, everyone.
Okay,
Welcome.
that's great.
Yay.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody. It's Vic. How is everybody today?
Welcome to the fourth episode of Fancast, the podcast about content creation and fandom. Today, our guest is Vic, also known as, and your name is so hard to pronounce, and I love it, ChcltCvrdStbrrs without the vowels. I love that name. By the way, it's an amazing name.
Thank you.
How did you come out with that name? Honestly.
That's just like my favorite food. So that was just a username that I used for a lot of things like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, because I found that it was never already taken. So I would just do that, like, cause it had no vowels in it, and it just wasn't taken, so I didn't have to add like numbers or letters or anything to it. But now I do frequently still get comments. It's like, what does your username mean? Or like they think it's just like a keyboard smash, and they're like, how do you remember it?
Yeah.
And they don't realize that it's just words without the vowels. Even my friends, like before TikTok and everything, like none of my friends got it. Like I'd have to explain it, but like it's outright. I like it.
Yeah, no. I honestly, I only got it like a few weeks ago. I was like writing the name, and I was like, oh, that is what it means. It was like an epiphany, and it was a funny one. Well, let's be real though. Chocolate covered strawberries are a very good food, right? They are a very good dessert, as my cousin would say.
Yes.
Arson is covering Big's face?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I fixed that. Okay. So, the pig is Arson. I'm sorry, but chat, but Arson stays. I don't care if it's covering me, okay? Now that that is settled, how are you? How has your day been? It been a good day? It's a Tuesday. Tuesdays are like normal days.
Um, yeah, it's been alright. There's a lot of snow outside today though, so it's pretty cold, but other than that, it's alright. How was your day?
Oh, there's snow. Snow is so cool.
Yeah,
My day has been actually
started.
great. It has been very sunny here, which eh, it's usually mid, but it was a good day. Still, graduation and everything. It was a good day. So big.
Yeah,
Forever.
you tell.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Oh, big is frozen.
I was just saying you were telling me you graduated today.
Yeah, it was.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was very cool. Now, for everyone who doesn't know who Big is a TikTok creator who tracks the stats of AO3 and basically talks about AO3, the stats, what they mean. It is amazing. They have very good content, very quality content. I don't think you're frozen anymore. No, you are not. I fixed it. Chat. I managed to fix a thing. I managed to fix the thing. Yay. That is very good. So, Big, as I said, okay, I got very excited for that. As I said, you're a TikTok creator who tracks stats on AO3. You make AO3 content and basically fandom content. You have read fanfictions on TikTok before.
Yeah.
Basically, all the young dudes, as far as I remember, which was very funny. So, how did you come out with the idea to like start tracking the stats of AO3? How like did you get the inspiration for that, as one might say?
So I was talking about like fan fiction on my TikTok account for a while before I started doing the AO3 stats thing. Just because it is one of my big interests. Like I've been just like interested in it for a while. Like I've been like writing fan fiction, reading fan fiction for a really long time. Just always what I did for fun. And before I had my series with the AO3 stats, I had a different series that I've kind of like I haven't updated it in a while, but where I would just do like random AO3 tags, like filterable tags in AO3, and I think I ended up doing like 30 parts to that series, and I kind of just got bored of it.
Wait, I think
I
I
wanted
watched
to
that.
just do.
Wait a minute. I think I know what series you're talking about. Oh my god,
Oh, you do? Oh,
that was a while
cool.
ago. I just now remember that series. Oh my god, I didn't know that was you, but now I think it is you. Huh? that was
Yeah, that
that was a coincidence I was not
that was a
expecting.
while ago.
Hmm?
That was over a year ago.
Yeah.
And then when the new year came around and like I think it was at the end of January, I was like just trying to come up with something new to do. Um, and I really like math. Like that's just kind of that's my favorite subject in school. That's my favorite um yeah, favorite kind of academic areas. So I wanted to kind of relate fan fiction somehow to like math and statistics, and I loved graphing things. I loved graphing data. Like I don't know why. Like that's a really weird thing
Well,
to like
honestly,
doing, but I just
yeah, I get why statistics. I don't like math, but I do like graphics. I understand that why you may like it. It is very interesting. Seriously, it is.
and well and while I started the series, I was actually taking a course that my school offers called data management, and that's what it is. It's analyzing statistics, and so I decided I wanted to see if there was a way that I could figure out which fandoms on AO3 are the most popular for each month, and kind of first of all like graph it, and then see the trends. I was planning on just doing it for um a year, but now after like this year is coming to an end, I'm actually gonna update the. I'm actually gonna make an AO3 stats video tonight, because it's the last month in November. Now that the year is coming to an end, and I do think I'm gonna continue it next year and the year after because I do have a lot of fun doing it. It's like I look forward to the last day of every month to get to do it.
Yeah, that it's great that you enjoy doing it actually because it is very funny watching it. Especially like I remember this very distinctly when Supernatural finally got out of the charts and you were like, oh well, farewell. It was very funny. That so like you
It gets
specifically. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say Supernatural like goes out and then it comes back in. It's like you always think it's gone and then like I don't know, shows up again.
Yeah, Supernatural is like a weird fandom because it's so freaking old, and yet it just a Harry Potter. Why are they still there? I'm not gonna ask. But like you specifically reading the last day of every month, no, not a little bit after before. Like, how long does it take you to make like one graph?
Um, not too long. Oh, I can probably have the whole thing done, like from like starting the graph, making the video, editing the video. I can probably have that done in like about an hour to an hour and a half.
Really? Oh my god, that is
Yeah.
impressive. That is really
It's,
impressive.
people think it people think it takes longer than it actually does. I don't think it. Also, now, like when I first started, it took a while, but now I've gotten to a point where I know exactly what to do, so I just like do it, bada bing, bada boom, make the graph, make the video, edit it, send it off. So I've also found ways to make it faster.
Well, yeah, repetition is the key to like perfectionism. This is what I heard one time. So like what is the process to like finding the stats, like every stat, like not only the monthly stats but you have also done like in specific tags the most popular fandoms or like the yearly ones or the five more popular fandoms in general. What is the process of finding the stats for those graphs? How do you find those?
Um, for every single one, it would differ slightly the exact process, but for the like monthly or three stats, for example, what I do, I'm actually gonna kind of imitate it right now on my kind of screen, just so I can better explain it.
Yeah.
Is I go onto the AO3 site, and an important thing is to make sure you're logged into an account because there are sometimes fics that are only available if you have an account. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
just how you
the
get more accurate number.
blue lock one,
Um,
right? The blue lock one. The stories with a blue lock are the ones, right?
yeah. The ones with the little lock, yeah, are only available to people who um have an account. And then what I do is I go on to a tag that is very like widely used, like probably one of the most popular tags. The one I always choose is the creator chose not to use archive warnings. So that that one because that usually has the most fix underneath it. Um, it's just one of the warning tags.
Yeah, no, I know. It is it is
Um,
it is funny that there is that you're free. That is the one, but I understand
yeah,
why it is.
it's just like a default. And then what I do after that is I go into the under the more options setting for uh like tag filtering.
Yeah.
You can choose when to when it was updated. So I'm actually just gonna say like from anywhere from November 1st to I'm gonna choose November 30th of 2021. And then you can click sort and filter and it'll show you all the fix that are in the creator chose not to use archive warnings category that were updated in November. And then after that, I go back to the tag filter and I go under the fandoms tab.
Mhm.
And under the fandoms tab, it'll show the top 10
Oh yeah, you're
fandoms
right.
uh, underneath. And then, um, but I usually, so what I'll do is I'll first put those down as like categories on a spreadsheet, but then I like to have a bit more. I start by finding the data for a little bit more than the top 10 because sometimes it can be a little bit inaccurate. So a way to find more is to just go under the exclude tag and exclude all these 10 fandoms and then do it again and it'll show you the like next 10 most popular fandoms. Like,
Oh, so you can
does
see
that
like
make
the
sense what I'm saying?
yes, it is that it does make sense. So you see like the most like 10 or 20 fandoms with the most works under a
Yeah.
specific tag in the 30 days, right? Like you don't just do it like
Yeah.
in general. It's just the 30
No.
days.
In the 30-day period from November 1st to November 30th. And then after that, I'll go on to each individual fandom. So for example, the first one I saw was My Hero Academia. I'll go on to the My Hero Academia fandom page and then I'll choose to only see works from November 1st to
Oh,
November 30th and click sort and filter. And then it'll say, like, for example, this month, My Hero Academia had 9,751 works
oh my
posted
god.
or updated since
Those
November
are a
1st.
lot of them. Those are a lot of works. God.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget
My
how
Hero
big
Academia
fandoms
is
are.
always Yeah, My Hero Academia is always popular. And then in addition to that, so that's how obviously I do it at first. Um Now though, after doing it for like 10 months, you kind of get an idea of which fandoms you think are going to be at the top. So I already have an idea of which fandoms I'm going to check for the numbers for.
Yeah.
And then I put those all in a spreadsheet. And then I just like Google Sheets has like settings you can use that just automatically filter it from greatest to least and then make a graph. Like it just does it automatically.
Oh, and what has been the most like the craziest like stat you have searched for? Like not the monthly stats, but in all the random stats, what has been the weirdest one you like search for?
The most difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either more
the
difficult or
most
like the
difficult.
weirdest one. Like the most like why am I looking for this? Are you like
Oh,
okay with
okay.
answering that? It is like
I know. Okay, I know the. I have different answers for both. I have the hardest one there was to look for, and then I have the weirdest one. The most difficult one I found was I wanted to see um
hmm?
how many. I wanted to see how many fics were added per month since like a total per month since AO3 started,
Oh
and
my
it
god.
started in September of 2008. So I had to look through uh
A lot.
13 years. So 13 it was like 13 years and then 3 times
Wow.
12 months. Yeah, so
That is
like
a
you
lot
had
of
to look through
time.
like 156. Yeah, that one took a while. That one took more than an hour.
Yeah,
That
no, I
one
can't
took like
imagine. I got only an
3
hour.
4 hours.
Only an hour. That's admirable.
No, that one took a few hours. That one took like an evening.
Yeah, no, that
By an
it's still
evening, I mean
impressive.
that one. I did it at like 2 a.m. So it's fine.
You know
Time
what?
doesn't count at 2 a.m.
Understandable. Understandable. The best work, Chad. The best work is done at night. We all know that, don't we? Like, I write at 3 a.m. most times with a cup of coffee. It is fine. It is fine doing it at night. It is the brain juices flow, I would say. So like that was
Yeah.
the hardest one. I understand why. That sounds hard, but what was the weirdest one? Like, or the funniest one?
Okay.
One that made you laugh while you were
Yeah. So
doing it.
it's kind of like a two-parter. So I wanted to find out which fandoms have the most Omegaverse
Oh yeah.
fan fictions written for them. Um Actually no, this is a three-parter. Sorry, I lied.
No, it's
So,
okay.
okay. So that's the one part, finding which fandoms had the most Omegaverse fics. I'm pretty sure it was BTS, just FYI, in
I
case
can
anyone
see
was
that. I can
wondering.
see that. Oh my god. I can see that
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Yes. Uh,
But
But
then I figured I was like, okay, BTS has like a lot of fan fictions in general. I want to find which fandom has proportionally the most Omegaverse. Like which fandom has the highest percent of Omegaverse fan fictions.
oh.
And for that, um, shout out to the Yuri on Ice fandom. You know the anime Yuri on
Yeah, I
Ice?
know it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like no, it's impressive because like I think it was like a solid like 3.5% of the fan fictions total written for Yuri on Ice
Yeah.
were Omegaverse.
Oh my god.
So that's like a solid like a solid 1 in 30.
I wish I could tell you I don't see it, but unfortunately, in my Wattpad phase back in 2016, every single Journalist fan fiction I could find, it was all Omegaverse. It was a new show and it was all AVO, so now I
Yeah.
get why in AO3 it must be worse. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's
And then
hilarious.
the third part was uh BTS had the most Omegaverse fan fictions. This one was kind of encouraged by a friend of mine who was a BTS fan, and they kept saying they're like, you should find which member of BTS is most often written as which Omegaverse like dynamic, like who's the alpha, who's the omega. So I did do that. I did like a pie chart for each member
Nice.
based on how often they were written on like each of the alpha, beta, or omega dynamics. So yeah, I have that. That one I can't really remember the stats for. I'm sorry. I
No, no,
think
don't
I
worry.
forcibly like I just blocked that one out of my brain. I was like,
Don't worry,
I kind of
understandable.
felt bad for doing that one too.
Yeah, no, completely understandable,
Like I felt
honestly.
guilty about it.
Why? Okay, I understand why. It
Yeah.
is RPF. Like, RPF is like a little more of a gray
Yeah.
area, like compared to like, like My Hero Academia or You're
Yeah.
Nice. Those are fictional characters. BTS is RPF. It is like, mm, you know?
Yeah, like I have a lot of thoughts on like RPF in general, but I personally don't read it or write it. It's just not something I really am into.
That is completely understandable. I have like a complicated relationship with it, mostly because I'm a Domestic Bay fan, but I understand completely why RPF, it is an icky bit of a subject for a lot of people. It is understandable. These are real people who are here
Yeah.
canoeing things for their lives. It's like, ha 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 ha, you know? It can be icky. Like, you say you write fanfics, right? You're a writer. I did not know that about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I don't write a ton and I haven't done it in a while, but I do like I definitely that's how I started enjoying fan fiction was by writing it. I was a really big writer for the Naruto fandom. I wrote a lot of Naruto fan fictions. Um from the ages of like I think, you know, 11 till 13. Yeah, I was really big
Yeah,
in like writing
listen,
Naruto fan
are you
fictions.
really a fanfiction fan if you didn't write fanfiction from like. It is like I love that you did that. It is like amazing. A lot of people don't accept people writing like as kids, but it is fun to do, right? Did you have fun at least doing it?
Yeah, I did. And what I have a lot of fun now doing is, so I actually never deleted these fan fictions. What I did is I orphaned my old account, which
Yeah.
means I have no control over the works now, and they're
Oh.
still up there, and I can't get rid of them. And in addition to this, in addition to the fact that I can't get rid of the English ones that are posted on there, when I posted them, there were some people, this was really common a few years ago, for people to take other people's fan fictions, translate them into another language, and post them on a different site. So I
Oh.
had somebody translate a lot of my fics into Russian and post it on a Russian site. So not only are my fan fictions forever out there on AO3, unable to be deleted, they're also forever out there on this one Russian fan fiction site, unable to be deleted.
Oh my god, that is like so. Oh my god, that is like ugh.
They're really bad. Like I've gone back and read them and they're really bad. They're like really bad.
I don't think anyone likes their own fics from like I wrote fanfiction on 11 and I now cringe when I see that. It's like nope, you're not my child. You know, it's that
What
feeling.
kind of fan fiction?
I wrote Percy
What kind
Jackson.
of
I wrote Percy Jackson crack fics and Teen Wolf like crossovers. I like honestly, and a bit of My Hero Academia weird fics. Nothing to like, nothing normal. You know, like you wrote Naruto. I wrote like the Percy boy being a werewolf because I could, just because I could. That is nice. So, like you wrote for Naruto, but what is like your favorite fandom to like read fanfiction in? Like still Naruto, or like have you gone into new fandoms?
No, and I wouldn't say Naruto still. I'm trying to for hmm, I'm trying to think. It's interesting.
Yeah, take your time. Don't worry. So, like I know I changed like the fandoms I read a lot. I changed them a lot. Like I started with like Percy Jackson. Now I only
Um
read like you know Minecraft boys. You know? It is like it is
um
common to change.
I find the anime Haikyuu always has amazingly written fics.
Really?
Always. They're so good. Yeah, always. They're just yeah, I don't know, something about them. Um I also for a while so I'm really really into comic books. I'm actually wearing a Marvel sweater right now. I didn't realize,
Oh,
didn't
really?
plan that.
I did not
But
see that.
I'm super into comic books, and so I would say actually not a Marvel, but like DC, not Batman, but like the Bat Boys, like the Robins.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, a hundred
fanfictions about
percent yes.
them. Yeah,
Like not Batman, the
yeah,
Bat Fam. That is completely good.
yeah,
Have you read the
exactly,
webtoon?
exactly.
Have you read the webtoon?
No,
Is
no, is it good?
it is not bad. It is actually like I like it. I like it. That is the thing. It is like happy family. You know, a thing we could never have.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know. Something I just like it so much.
yeah. It is
I
a cool
do.
dynamic. It's a cool dynamic. Like you on one side you have an adult who takes kids into battle, but on the other side there are a lot of kids. They can get along. You know, the Bat Fam is a nice dynamic to think about.
Yeah.
Sounds
Like
family.
I don't really care about Batman. Like great, you're Batman, everything, but like I want to know about like the kids that you kidnapped and made fight crime as your sidekick, you know?
That is the best description of the Robins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. My favorite hero is Nightwing, so I think you can guess my stand on that. It's like nope.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Bruce Wayne should be kicked in the nuts. No. So like okay, so like you have fandoms you read for you are part of fandoms. But you're also like not a part of some of the bigger fandoms like Harry Potter or like I already said, SMP. You're like known for not being part of those fandoms, right? What is like the weirdest fandom you know things about just through osmosis? Like from cultural osmosis.
Oh,
Like, cultural osmosis in fandom is like it is very common. I know things
yeah.
about Supernatural. I have not watched a single episode. So like, what is the weirdest thing you learned about a fandom just for osmosis? That is a question. My training one needs to ask, but it is a nice question. I like the question.
Um,
Guess
I
when
would
even
say this is like such an like I never expected this to be a popular fandom for people to write fan fictions for, but Formula One race car
wait,
drivers,
what?
RPF.
That is a popular fandom?
Yeah, that's like it's like
Really?
really it's like surprisingly popular. Where
That is surprising, if anything. Oh my god. What is the weirdest thing you have
yeah,
learned from
it's
that?
like I um yeah, it has like over 12,000 works
Hmm.
on the site,
Okay,
and
that has more works than Skate Infinity. How is that?
does it that's more works than wait, that is? I didn't
That
think
is
of it like that.
there
Oh,
is
I
like
like Skate the
there are
Infinity
literally
though.
there are like 8,000 works for Skate the last time I checked. Which I'm not saying because like oh I love Skate. I'm saying it because it is like very popular anime that people would expect to have a lot of fakes. Formula One. What?
Yeah.
I did not even knew it was possible to write Formula One fanfic. Who is writing?
Yeah, and like all I've learned kind of is that there's this one Australian race car driver who they everybody ships with this one, I think he's from Belgium, race car driver.
Hmm?
And that's all I've learned.
Oh my.
That's all I've learned. I've also just learned that it's way more popular than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting the number. It's like, that is an interesting number. I want to check that out only for the shits and games. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now that you've said it to me, I want to
Well,
like see it.
I do think it's really interesting with the sports RPF, like the people who take athletes and write fan fictions for a few reasons. One, it's not I don't think it's the same as taking a different celebrity like a singer or a influencer and writing fan fiction, because I don't think you see as much of the and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think there's as much of an opportunity to see like the personal life or kind of the I guess the personalities or the interactions
Oh yeah,
with
I would.
sports players as there is with other celebrities. Like you don't see them interacting as you see them interacting with their team, obviously, but they're usually getting shipped with people from other teams.
You know,
So
I
I
get
just
what you
don't.
say. I get what you say. It's like now what that you say. I actually question it. Speaking of influencer getting fan fiction written about it, you have things written about you, right? Like yeah, things
I
written about you.
do,
But
I
that is
do, and I have read them.
yeah, I know it is hilarious that you have some of them. I have not read any of them, but I know they exist. What is like your favorite one, or like not your favorite one, but the most bollocks one? If you don't want to answer what favorite one is.
They're all crack fix, by the way, which I
No, no,
love.
I know they're a crack fix. It's
I
like
love that they did that.
yeah,
Here, I'll try to remember. I can't remember the name, but there's one that gets updated ever so like it still gets updated kind of often, and the person who writes it DMs me every time. Oh, I found it. Every time they update it. It's called Bird Bitch and Uwu Pony Reunited.
what?
Um, hot emoji face, hot emoji face, hot emoji face. Sad emoji, sad emoji, sad emoji. Um,
That
mouth open emoji, mouth open emoji, mouth open emoji.
that is a crack fix
Crying
if I've
emoji,
ever seen
crying
one.
emoji, crying emoji, devil emoji, devil emoji. There we go.
Oh my god, that is a crack fix if I've ever seen one. Oh my god.
It's it's
What's it
part
about?
two of series Mordecai X Twilight.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? There's more to involved in that. Why am I not? Honestly, like seriously.
I think everybody should check them out because this person, like, they do DM me every time they update. It's a great crack fic. I think it's very funny. I do think everybody should check them out.
Yeah, honestly, like,
Oh,
listen, crack fics are good because they're funny, you know? They're not meant to be taken seriously, but they are good anyway. I don't understand people.
I remembered.
Hmm?
I was going to say something a bit earlier. Back to the sports RPF. I just remembered this, so that's why I'm telling it. So, I'm family friends with this one person who is a
And you're like, okay, can you? Oh my god, that was. It usually gives me a warning. It usually gives me a warning. My computer just ran out. Hello,
what?
chat. You know, hello again, chat. My computer ran out of battery with no warning. It usually gives me a warning. Oh my god, that was. Ew. Did Discord reconnect? Okay, can you hear me correctly? It's like, uh, that was weird. Okay, you were saying something about being family friends with someone. Please continue your thought.
Oh, okay. So I'm family friends with this one guy who's in the NHL, the National Hockey League.
Oh,
Um, Hockey's a really popular sport here, so it's just and the NHL does have a lot of fan fictions written about it. So one day I decided that I was going to check to see if this guy had any fan fictions written about him. He did, and I read one of them, and I regretted it instantly. And then I showed my mom, and she thought it was really funny, but
I can imagine why you
weird.
you regret it. Hi, chat. Hello, what's
Yeah.
up? Hello, Henry. Hello, Dark. Welcome to chat. Yeah, no, I can imagine why it can be like weird reading fics about someone you know. It's like, I know this person. Why?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I think I have a troll in chat. Troll in chat. I'm just going to time it out just in case. Okay, that is all that happened in the podcast. Oh yeah, that's definitely something I have to block. Mod! Ugh. Give me a second. I have bad people in chat.
It's alright.
There we go. They are blocked. We are not going to mention what they said, and we're not going to talk about them. Okay, chat? Okay, nothing happened. Don't worry. Yeah, I realized you were not in the stream. Don't worry. It's okay. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. Don't. We're not gonna say what happened. We're just going to move on. I can imagine how it can be like very weird to like read fics about someone. You know how do they know
Yeah.
there are fics?
And
Like
this was
they know there are fics that I've written about them.
they don't like there's no way this guy would have known that there were fan fictions written about him. He's not no, he wouldn't have known. He's like a 20-30-year-old man. So,
Yeah, no.
but now I can't tell him. Now I have to go to like now I have to go to like family events and like see him and like not tell him. And it's weird.
Yeah, no. It is like, hey, did you know
I
you're
feel
part of
bad.
the
It's like,
of
oh,
yeah, no, go
yeah,
I'm sorry.
like just bring up, like bust out my phone, be like, oh, you want to see this, and like just show him. No.
No, it's like, do you know there are teenagers in the internet writing about you and your
Yeah,
life? It can be like, oh my god.
and you with other hockey players.
Oh my god. That is like, ugh. I'm sorry, I need to make an announcement. We are taking chat away from the stream for a while. That is okay. So like you know that is I still cannot wrap my head around that because like I know personal like not hockey RPF but like figure skating RPF I know exists. You know how like
Yeah.
why where do people take the inspiration to write like sports from all things? Like as you said, influencers and bands and all that. They have like more leeway because they have interviews and all that. But sports, I still cannot get how that is a good idea. No?
Me neither. I don't get how they get a good grasp on the, I guess, personalities or relationships of these people. So I do think it's interesting. Like I get why people do it. They would like it's the same reason people write fan fiction about anything. Like just if you're interested in something and I guess you want like the main reason why I think people like write fan fiction like obviously they write it like out of enjoyment and out of entertainment, but like it's kind of they use it as a way to uh, get something that the media that they want to consume doesn't already provide them. Like, yeah, like you, that's why shipping is so popular because, like, if it's a relationship that you know isn't going to be canon, you kind of write fan fiction as a way to kind of fill that void. So I get why people, I guess, do it, like, just to get more than to just get more out of the media they want to consume, but I just don't get really where they get their inspiration.
Yeah, like when the
So
media is like real people, it's like weird. Like, okay, you want more from the media, but there is a difference between getting more from like an anime or a book, like from like a real person's life. Is what you're trying to like say.
yeah, but I do know somebody, the same friend I was mentioning earlier, who is a really big fan of BTS, also wrote BTS fan fiction, and I asked them one time, I was like, why do you do this? Like, I just didn't get it, and they kind of just told me that the reason why they do this is because it's already so like um
Normalized.
popular that they kind of yeah, it's like so normalized that that's what they kind of like like the way they kind of explained it is it's like obviously they know that this is not how the members would actually act in a real life setting, but this is just their
It's
I
like
guess they
their
were like
public
it's like an
persona.
AU.
Yeah, like it's their public
Yeah,
persona
yeah. It's
instead
like
of like the person.
they're creating their own version of these of the members in their heads, which I guess is it's an interesting way of looking at it. I guess it's fine. I do think there is a chance that it could be uh problematic depending on how you view them. I know that RPF definitely can be problematic with people not consenting to have it written about them and such.
Yeah, that is like
So I do think, yeah.
I'm gonna use like the Dreams as an example to like give like more thought to that. It's like there are boundaries that set boundaries, and some people like don't respect those boundaries, so like those are problematic. But in there, it depends. There is like a balance you need to have between what you do with the person's life.
Exactly. The Dream SMP I think is really interesting because I did more research into it, and so people either will write fan fictions based off of the characters made in the role playing, or they'll write fan fiction based off of the actual people. But either way, these people have most of them have consented to it somewhat, like have consented to it to an extent. Like they've consented to have fan fiction written about them. I think some of them have different boundaries on whether they're okay with being shipped.
Yeah, no, there
Um,
is like a boundary list. Then the boundaries go from like shipping to sexualization to fanfiction in general to NSFW. It is complicated. It is fun. It is fun to research about. It is a pain to try to memorize.
yeah, but I definitely researched this a while ago, and some of them were okay with and actually encouraged shipping. Some of them weren't. Um, and I think with situations like that, the existence of RPF, I think it's a lot different. I think it's a lot, um, as long as the boundaries of everybody are respected. um, I think there's a lot less potential for um conflict.
Yeah. No, no, it's okay. But like, okay, moving away from RPF because I'm trying to still wrap my head around the fact that there's Formula One RPF, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around that because it's weird. Running away from RPF in general, just go away. It is a preso, make the preso go away. What is your favorite fig? That is a question I have like for a while. I've been having that question. What is like your favorite fig that you are like willing to tell us, like in general, from any fandom, any category? Just a fig you like to read. It doesn't even have to be like the best fig, just one that you like.
I oh, there was this one, and I I used to read it all the time. It's a Naruto fic. I used to read it all the time when I was like 12 or 11 because it was like constantly being updated, and I think I started reading it when I was 11, and I think it continued being updated until I was like 13 or 14,
Well,
and
there's some.
then they stopped updating it for a really long time. And now the author, like maybe once a year or a couple times a year, still posts new chapters, and I get really excited because I get to see the new chapters for this fic. Like they used to update it like every day or every other day. Now they still do it a couple times a year, and it's called "You Bake Me Crazy," and um about it's not even the main characters of Naruto. It's like two of the side characters, Gaara and Rock Lee, and it's like
Huh?
kind of a high school AU fic.
Oh,
Um, and I don't know. I think the reason why I like it so much is just the fact that I read it and waited for updates for it for so long. Like I would like rush home from school because it would be updated while I was at school. I would rush home from school just to open my computer and read it. So I think that's why it's my favorite.
I get it. I had a fig that I also used to really like because I knew it updated very quickly. I had like the confidence to like I'm not gonna get dropped by this one. I am not gonna see the end with chapters left.
Yeah.
It was called How to Forgive and Forget. I have stopped reading it since, but I
What
get the
fandom?
sentiment. My Hero Academia.
Okay.
It was fairly good. I really liked it. I just don't like My Hero Academia that much anymore, so I just stopped reading it. But yeah, I understand the feeling of like, hey, a thing that you like because you knew you could just rush to read it every day with no fail.
Yeah.
Like,
So now that the fact that they still update a few times a year, even though it's not done, I get really excited because I get the same feeling that I did when I was like in middle school or elementary school, middle school reading it.
yeah. So like this week has been with you like for most of your high school years. That is very
It
nice.
was with the I read it all throughout middle school, and that's when they stopped updating when I went into high school.
And now it's like kind of there again. That is
Now
very
now
nice.
I'm in my final year of high school, and they're still updating every now and then. I'm still reading it. Sometimes I reread some of the earlier chapters that I really liked.
Speaking of high school, did you end up like writing the college essay about the data for like the AU3 Manly stats? Because I think you were planning on doing that, or like you were like putting a poll about it. Did you
Okay,
actually do that?
so Um, so the way applications work is you apply, and then after the universities message you back and tell you to like make an account or whatever on their school website, and some of the programs require an essay. So basically, I've done the first step of sending in my application, and when certain universities respond back to me and ask for me to make an account and include supplementary information, which includes an essay, I am going to. And I have one of two of the schools that I want to go to require a face-to-face interview, and I do think I might mention it as a um
As like an extra thing you do on the
just as a
side.
topic. Yeah, as a topic, and isn't um the reason why is because first of all, I have a couple times been cited as a source in university papers, like the AO3 sets I made have been cited,
Really?
and they've asked. I've had people ask for my name, um, and yeah, like
That's
my
so
full name and
cool.
everything, so they can properly cite me.
That is so
And I
cool.
think that's a very, I think that especially because it's about fan fiction, I think that if I tell that, if I mention that, it'll make me memorable. It'll make me stand out because that's the main thing that I just want to do. Like I get that it's a whole like I get that it's funny, I get that it's weird, um, but also what we're told is that you want to stand out, you want to have something that makes them remember you specifically, and I think you know what? Like, if there's anything else, I can guarantee that there is no other applicant that can say that.
Yeah, no, there is literally no one else that can say, "Hey, I am like kind of TikTok famous because I take the time to do this good content." You know, it's like I have been cited as source.
I like.
That is amazing.
I guarantee there's no other applicant that's gonna say I've been cited as a source in a university paper about fan fiction. Like nobody else is gonna say that. So at least they're gonna remember that I said that,
Yeah.
and that will that is a like important thing. Like they just want people who are I guess unique. So I will be doing that. And I know that that sounds that sounds crazy to
No,
some people when I say that.
it doesn't.
But
It actually
yeah.
sounds very cool. Like actually, like and little anecdote. I last episode on Sunday, I was like promoting this episode, and I said, "Hey, I have this guest," and the person I like Daniel Silverstone, the person who I was having the podcast with, was like, "You got big!" Like they got excited about you in the podcast. So like you are like a TikTok.
Oh my god, that
You're
makes me so happy.
yeah, no, you're like quote unquote TikTok famous right now. So you can definitely use that as like a very interesting point in your essay, especially since you have been citing essays.
Yeah.
It is like impressive, honestly. It is very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's very I just think it's interesting because I I think it's interesting because I never knew how many people actually wrote university papers about fan fiction until recently, but now I know of at least 4 people who've done it.
Wow, those are
Because
a
they've
lot of
DM'd
people.
me for more information.
Those are a
Like they
lot of
write
people.
yeah, they write university papers, and I always wondering, I'm like, what class is this for?
I, I,
Like,
I,
what
sh-
class are you taking?
I sure hope an English major, or like, I sure hope an English major is the only thing I can think about it. Like in the States or in Canada, that can be like about
Um,
that.
believe it or not, a lot of the people who I've messaged with, they're actually using it for psychology papers, or
Wait,
one of them was a like a media course. Psychology was one person was analyzing the way that I guess teens absorb media, and one of those ways that they do that was through fan fiction. Like,
that's so cool.
and yeah, so they were going further in depth on that, and they wanted, I guess, a bit of my input. Um, so I thought that was interesting.
That's so cool. I like the thing is right in my country we don't have like college essays. We just have free college and you just like apply to enter and almost always you get accepted unless you're going to a private college. So it's not usual to like have college essays. So I have absolutely no idea what you write about, and I think that's obvious.
Um, so yeah, here they're not required. It depends on which school you want to go to. It's mainly only the very competitive programs. But here we also have public colleges that anybody can go to. I guess it just depends on what job you kind of want to. It just depends on what job you want to go into.
Yeah, no, that makes sense actually. That makes a lot of sense. Here we do have like private colleges and all that. It's just like the norm. It is public college, but we have private college for like it's understandable. So like I
Yeah.
psychology majors. That is actually a very interesting one. I wish I could read that study. But like, I,
Yeah.
is that psychology
I
majors?
think they
Another one that I'm like I trying to remember that it was like I was like what? That is like a media like a media like is that a thing?
um I'm pretty sure there are like media related degrees. I'm not exactly sure because all the people who messaged me for information were going to American schools. So I don't know too much about the
Oh yeah,
education system in the US. Yeah,
the use
it's
is weird. It's the use is weird. It's
each
completely
country is
valid.
so different.
You know, yeah, the use is weird. It's
Each
completely
country is so
valid.
different.
Yeah, honestly, it is like all of countries are very different. Like I live halfway across the world, and I cannot understand the college and education systems in neither the U.S. or in Canada. It's like very much different in all over the world. It is very interesting. Yet here we
Yeah.
also have fan fiction, we just have it in another language, and it is very different from the standard fan fiction changes too. If you didn't know that,
Yeah.
mm.
Um
Changes a lot.
one thing I've noticed with like fan fiction changing over time is that now the fics are much longer than they were. Like I remember when I started reading fan fiction when I was like 11 or yeah, it's like 10 or 11. Um they like each fic was like less than 1,000 words or like maybe like 2,000 words if you got lucky. And the long fics were like, you know, like the multi-chaptered fics were like
Yeah.
20,000, 25,000 words. Now I see them and like first of all, every fic is at least 3,000 words, and then like the multi-chaptered like long fics are like over 100,000 words.
Yeah, I don't
And
read
I'm like, oh
those.
my god, like I don't know. I don't know if like in recent years people have just started creating more time out of thin air to like write fan fiction, but I don't know. I've noticed they've gotten so much longer, and I don't know really why that is.
We did have like a pandemic, so like a lot of free time.
Okay, yeah, no, that that
Uh,
that that definitely contributed.
yeah.
I remember I was telling you that the most difficult thing I tried to graph was how many fics were posted on AO3 each month, since the site was created, and the there was a rapid spike right after quarantine started.
Well, I can
Like,
imagine why. Yeah.
you know, yeah. So like April of 2021, 2020, like it just went up and you could see, and I was like, oh, okay, everybody's inside and they have nothing better to do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what can I do now that I have nothing else to do? I like. Okay, I just started rewriting fan fiction like in January 2020, but I definitely wrote most of them in like April onward. So I get that. It's like suddenly we have a lot of free time. What can we do? Oh, I know. Let's rewatch this
Yeah.
anime and just write the characters in a love. I don't remember stuff. I don't know why I said that. Okay, it's like so. Like okay, you say that over time, like things have gotten longer. What is like the longest one you have tackled like and actually finished? I know mine was like black. It's mine was like Canary. It's a My Hero fic with 300,000 words. I am weak. I don't read long fanfics.
The longest fic is I'm not even finished it yet, but All the Young Dudes,
Oh
what
yeah,
I've read of it is more than I've ever read of a fan fiction before. And a lot of people are asking me if I'm still reading it. I am. I'm just a very slow reader,
understandable.
like
That that that
extremely
that,
slow.
that fic is way too long. It's understandable.
Believe it or not, like people might be surprised by this. I'm not actually that good at English class, like reading or writing. It's always been an extreme struggle for me. So like reading All the Young Dudes, it's really good, but it just takes me a really long time. But I think I've read like the whole fic is like 500,000 words or something like that. I think I've read like 300,000 of them. Wait,
Honestly, like me too.
I'm
Like
gonna see.
people expect me to be like very good at. We don't call it English because we speak Spanish. We call it like language, or we call it literature or language.
Yeah.
And I am not good at that class at all. It's like, hey, I can't. Why read this story from like the 50s that is not even good when I just can go and do something else. You know, like
Why would I read a book in English class when I could just read fan fiction?
exactly. Why should I read this 50-year-old like poem somebody wrote about I don't know defenestration when I can just go and read the
They did that on
blockman being
purpose.
funny. I did that on purpose. Yes, I did. It was.
Well,
That was a reference because Twin is in the background. I'm sorry about that.
a really funny story is that in the when I was in middle school, either like I think I was 13, there was one book we had to read for English class. And I remember just looking at it and I was like, oh, I don't want to read this. Like, I just didn't want to read this. So what I did is I looked up fan fictions and it turns out there were like over 1,000 fan fictions written about it on AO3. So I just read all of those and I was like, you know what? After doing that, I think I got enough of the plot.
Yeah.
And it's weird because that probably took longer than it would have took Aiken to actually read the book, but I enjoyed it more than I
Yeah,
did
no,
actually
honestly. Like,
would have actually reading the book.
as someone who prefers fanfiction to normal literature, I get that completely. And I also get like getting something from the plot just by, by reading fanfictions. It's
Yeah.
like does anyone think I have watched or read Haikyuu? I have not. But I have at least 5 Haikyuu like in my bookmarks.
Yeah. Oh, I love reading fan fictions for fandoms that I'm not a part of. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
So much
because like
fun because then canon can be whatever you want it to be.
exactly. It's like, I don't care what canon says. I recognize that canon has made a decision, but since seriously it's a stupid decision, I have elected to ignore it. Let's go to the tags, It's kind of like that.
It's like when you watch a show and it's like, oh, that episode didn't go how I wanted to. You just turn to AO3 and you're like, greetings,
Exactly.
old friend.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Like immediately start reading.
Yeah, no, it's like, I like that. I like that very much. I like that about like everything. Like, for example, there is this book series called like A Darker Shade of Magic, which I love, but there are things that I don't like about it. And there are very little things about it in free, but the ones that are all fixed it, and all of them fix those things. So like, nice. No, it's like my old friend, my old ally. You quarrel with for me, Ayo free. Honestly, I actually don't know how to use it very well. I have only been using it for a year, counting. Have you been on it for a long time?
Yeah, I it was the first fanfiction site I've started using. I've tried using others, like I've tried using fanfiction.net and Wattpad,
You're one of the lucky
but
ones who started with the great one.
they're they're frustrating to use, and
Yeah,
Wattpad gives me like an ad every 30 seconds and I get mad.
yeah. No,
It's
listen.
like I don't want an ad.
What part is frustrating. I remember, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I remember when Wattpad added ads. I remember when Wattpad didn't have any ads. I remember that time. So like, you are one of the lucky ones who started on AO3. I had to start on Wattpad. That was the like
I still don't like Wattpad's like filtering system. I don't
What
understand how to get the
Wattpad does
book
not
I
have a
want.
filtering
Like I don't
system.
understand.
That is the thing. Wattpad does not have a filtering system.
That's why I don't understand it.
Wattpad don't have listen. Wattpad doesn't have a filtering system. It has free tags on a trench coat pretending to be a filtering system. Seriously, it has that. Like, for example, Wattpad rates like stories with the same tags, and it's like, oh, this story is this number on this tag. You can change in the tag like one of the vowels of like this is in lowercase and this is in uppercase, and that changes the tag. That changes the meaning. It, it has not.
Yeah,
It
that
does
was
not
one
have a
thing I
tagging system.
noticed.
It does not have it does not have a tagging
Oh,
system. It is
that
weird.
was one thing I noticed that like for each like uh tag there was like four other tags just based on if the letters were capital or lowercase, and I was like,
Yeah. You were like Christ today
um
of free user. He's like, what the confusion? Like, you know that the confused mouse meme, that was you.
I
He's okay. Like,
oh
I really don't like it. Wattpad. I don't like it. I had a Wattpad face. I don't have anymore, and it shows why. Twin, can you please get out of my bed? We can clearly see you in the background. Yes.
um Oh, one thing I was going to mention, just because you actually mentioned this to me kind of before the call, was asking like if people at school have ever found my TikTok
Oh
account.
yeah,
And
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, have people in your life actually found your account?
yes.
How did
Yeah,
that go?
so basically I'll give you like a little rundown. Um, First of all, lots of people at school. A lot of people at school. Um, and this is that at first this was very unfortunate, and then after like a second I realized, I was like, wait. If you found my account, that means that my account was on your For You page. Why is that? And that's happened with like one girl, and I actually said that to her. I was like, why is that? And she was like, oh, I read fan fiction all the time. She's like, I'm actually reading it right now on my phone. And I was like, oh, all
That's
right, all right.
so cool.
Yeah,
Like,
and I was like, oh, okay, nice. So
eh,
we're just two lads hanging out
yeah, like I actually have
reading
this
fan
story.
fiction on
You
our
know,
phones.
like I actually have this story where, like,
Um,
in the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry, you were saying something. I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
no, it's all right. You can continue.
Like I have this story where, like, I have, like, in the beginning of the year when we just went back, we just have just gone back to, like, in-person classes, and I look to the side, like, two tables from me. There is one of the coolest dudes in my class, like one of those, like, not mean, but also not nice people who are just in their own business. They had AO3 opened in their phone, and I was like, "What the fuck are you reading?" I did not say anything. I was like, "No, there is no way I'm letting these people know that are fan fiction. That is often." But I'm still trying to figure out what they were reading. I'm still trying to figure it out, honestly.
He knows what's up. Yeah, and that's actually how I met like one of my really close friends to this day. Was we were sitting beside each other in math class, and in that math class, I was a uh freshman, so that was my first year of high school, but I was in a like second year math class, so everybody else already knew each other. Everybody else like was older than me, and so I didn't know anybody, and so I was really quiet, and we were sat beside people in like kind of two desks together, and there was a girl right beside me, and I remember one class we were just given time to do homework at the end, and I looked over and I looked at her phone and I saw AO3 open, and I was like, "Hey, is that the fan fiction site open?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What are you reading?" And she was like, "Oh, Star Wars." And I was like, "Nice. I'm actually reading um My Hero Academia right now on my phone." And we were like, and we've been friends since, and that was
That is the best way of friends.
3 years ago.
Oh,
So,
that was a
you
while
know.
ago. I
So
sometimes forget
that was
how,
like
like,
a
my hero was
good
popular.
friend.
Yeah, that is like the best way to make friends. Honestly, it's like fan fiction. It connects
Uh,
people. I forget that My Hero Academia was
um,
like a big thing.
yeah. It's almost like it's still definitely a big thing, but like 3 years ago was when it kind of had like its boom in popularity, and
Yeah,
everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
like,
Um.
it's funny that I forget. I have been in the fandom for free. Like, why do I forget? Since 2018.
Um. And other people that I've found my TikTok account, not through the fan fiction aspect, but on April Fools, I made a TikTok video of like rickrolling, and it's my most popular one to this day, and it has like almost 1 million likes. But what happened is it got really popular on TikTok, and then somebody reposted it onto Twitter, and then it got really popular on Twitter. And
Oh,
what ended up happening is that my manager at the place I work
oh.
actually saw it through Twitter, and he was like, and he came to me one day and he's like, You rickrolled me," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, You rickrolled me. I saw you on Twitter. You rickrolled me," and I'm like, "I don't have Twitter," and he's like, "Well, then somebody else posted you on Twitter and it rickrolled me," and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's my boss.
Okay, but that is okay. That is your fault, but that is still funny. It's like, of all the people
That's my. I
who have
know.
been rickrolled, of all the
I was so
people,
proud of myself too.
yeah.
I was
Oh
so.
no.
I was like. I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry about that."
Yeah,
Dramatic.
it's like, I'm so sorry, but, like, you know,
But
it,
like
it, it
no,
works.
and I told told some of my coworkers, and they're like, "That's awesome. That's fun."
That is not awesome. That is girl boss moment. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
Honestly, like
girl bossing, rickrolling your boss, even though
yeah,
like rickrolling your boss indirectly,
exactly. Not only
rickrolling your
you're
boss
rerolling him,
through somebody else.
yeah, not only you're rerolling him, but he cannot blame you for it.
No, somebody else. I didn't rickroll you. Somebody else rickrolled you using my video.
Exactly, the perfect power move. There's no consequence.
Yeah,
Like okay, so like actually you have a lot of videos that are not fanfiction related that you also enjoy doing. Like my favorite one is
yeah,
the Christmas one you make a while ago. It's like you just being like, hey, the masculine or feminine, I don't remember. You should like just decorate the house with this song,
yeah.
and you
Um,
put like a bow on your head.
Thank you. That video was actually for like a sponsorship of a company that sent me pajamas, and the pajamas I'm wearing are the in that video are the pajamas that the company sells, and I was like thinking because they said the video could be anything as long as they had the pajamas in it. I was like, these pajamas are very like Christmassy pajamas. Um, and they also gave me a like promo code to give to people that gives everybody like that uses it 20% off on the pajamas. So, um, if anybody wants to know, the promo code on Amazon is Vic with two C's, 123 off. So, you know,
Nice. That's a
not that
very
anybody, like really cares, but FYI, you can get 20% off pajamas. So,
that is amazing. I did not know that was a sponsorship, but now it makes sense. It was still a very cool video. It was still a very
no,
fun video.
no, I don't really like, the sponsorship videos that look too sponsor-y. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make a video that everything I post, I want to have some sort of like, I guess, pride in. Like, I want it to be good, so I wouldn't just post something just for money.
You don't want to like
Like, I
have to
want
go
it to be
back to a
good.
video and be like, that is not me, that is not my content, that is just something I did for someone else.
No, no, definitely not. I think everything I post, everything I have up, is stuff that I genuinely see as like something I like.
That is very cool. That is like a very good and a very cool stance to have on your own work and your content. I like that. I never had a sponsor, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
know honestly. But like yeah, it is a very nice.
but like for everything I post, I only post stuff that I want to watch. Even though
So
I don't rewatch my
chaos.
own videos because I don't like the sound of my voice, but
Oh, that is kind of sad, but so chaos. You have like a very chaotic person on TikTok. Chaotic in the sense that it is very deadpan while giving you the worst information you
yeah,
don't want to know. It is pure chaos and I love it. Like,
thank you. I think it started that started out as an accident, like the deadpanning thing, and then people thought it was funny, so I played it up. Um, in real life, I'm not super deadpan, but it was just the fact that each of my videos aren't necessarily scripted, but I know what I'm going to say before I record them, obviously. And the fact that I knew what I was going to say, I'm not a good actor or anything, so I wasn't able to fake
yeah, no, it just
emotion. So I would just be sitting there.
be
It
like,
was like, AO3 monthly stats.
yeah.
Welcome back to like, and like just like a news announcer kind of thing. And but everybody thought it was funny, so I'm glad people thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
it is very funny. It is very funny, and it is very funny in the
Thank
chaotic
you.
sense of like it can be like the information. Like for example, in the I remember you make a video with the son of Charlie's Nancycle being like, "I'm forcibly feminizing you," being like, "Hey, this is a real tag and you're free," and you just had the deadpan face. That was so chaotic and funny because it's the thing you don't want to know, but you will still get the face. Like it is like the most you mentioned it like it's a cup of coffee in the morning. Like it's a normal thing. I actually already knew that was a like attack, but it is like that is not the point. The point is that that is what makes it fun. It's the shock factor of the deadpan.
Yeah.
Also, like I think
That's
everything adds to going. I love your bio, for example, the eating gravel thing.
thank you. Based on a true story.
Yeah, no. Actually,
I used to eat gravel a lot.
I'm gonna be
Like,
honest with you for a second. My bio for a while but was based on that. It was like I used to eat paper. Now here we are. It was like inspired by that.
oh,
Now
I'm
it is.
glad I could inspire that. I
Yeah.
also used to eat paper. Just chew it.
What?
Like it was good.
Why did everyone eat paper when we were kids? We all eat paper. I don't know why. When we were kids, like everyone
I
has
don't
this
know,
habit
but
of eating paper.
I liked the texture. I liked it. I thought it was chewy. I thought that was
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. It was chewy. It was like it started tough, but then it became chewy. It was like now my bio is like that one anarchist who reads fan fiction, but for a while it was like I used to paper. Now here we are, and it was like completely 100% ripping off your bio. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ripped off your
Ah,
bio
that's all right.
blatantly. It
That's all
was a
right.
blatant rip off. It was a fun one. It was a fun rip off. I'm gonna admit. I laughed at myself for that joke for like 30 minutes, and the third, but I did. No. What are you? My twin is like in the background laughing at something, and I don't know why. That is not sad.
Oh, I think I have an idea of just like a fun thing I can, story I can tell.
Oh
So,
yeah, go please go
um,
ahead.
so with like, um, okay, okay, so fan fiction, like, though it's really popular now online with like teenagers and stuff, it was like, I guess it kind of started like a really long time ago. Like people were writing fan fiction, like 30 years ago or whatever.
Old as
A
wolves.
really interesting story is that um I had to go to like a funeral of a family member, and I was talking to these to like kind of extended family who I haven't seen in a really long time, and I was talking to my like I think great aunt, and she was asking me what I like to do, and I think my dad, to embarrass me, tried to bring up my TikTok account,
Oh.
and she was like, "Oh, what do you post on the internet?" And I was like, "Well, I talk a lot about, do you know what fan fiction is?" And she was like, "Do I know what fan fiction is? I'm the pioneer of fan fiction. I've been writing fan fiction for 30 years." And do you want to, like, dead serious? Not only has she been writing fiction for this long, she's been writing fan fiction for so long that she co-authored an actual novel that's just a compilation of fan fictions for the celebrity Adam Lambert, and I have a copy of it right
Oh
here.
my god, please show that to me if you're comfortable with that. Are you? Oh my god! That is like an actual Adam Lambert fanfiction compilation written by your
Yeah.
grandma.
Written by my great aunt.
Okay, great aunt. Wow, that is so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I know.
Oh
I
my.
know. I was like, I think about that. So basically, what I'm saying is that a love for fan fiction actually runs in the
It is.
family.
It is. It is
It's like
hereditary.
it's actually it's a genetic characteristic.
Yes, it's a genetic condition.
Yeah,
It's a,
I can't. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
genetic condition.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It
some
counts
people
as a
suffer from it really bad.
yeah. My family has it. It's pre-existent, so the insurance won't cure it.
Yeah, the
It's-
doctors say it's terminal.
oh my god, that is. Oh, I that is your great aunt is the coolest person alive. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I know that I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah, but
When she
Adam
told me that, I
Lambert
was
of
like,
all
oh my
people.
god. Yeah.
Isn't
And
that the guy who like replaced Freddie Mercury on Queen?
I think so.
Adam Lambert, like it is now Queen plus Adam Lambert. Or am I or
Yeah,
do
yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
do I
yeah,
have
yeah.
like the wrong person?
It
Like
it is. It is him. And my favorite, sorry, I just want to say my favorite line in this book
yeah.
um is one of the first ones. It's on the subject of Adam Lambert. It says, who cares if he's gay? I like men too. And this is a woman writing that.
I could tell
That's
that.
funny.
That is funny. That is hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh my god. That is like that is I that was my admiration for your bloodline. You're like a purebred fanfiction reader and writer. It's like the air. Like, I actually have like a fake press printed here because that's the kind of nerd I am. Like I also have a fake compilation, but this is Dreamers MP, and it is not something I else, or it's just something I like to read at night.
That's cool.
Yeah, honestly. Like an Adam Lambert compilation, and you just find that bad accent because your dad wanted to embarrass you. It's like, that's cool.
Yeah. He wanted to try to like embarrass me, and she ended up being very enthusiastic about it, and my dad was just like,
I created a monster. Your dad was like, oh my god, no, another one. It has multiplied.
but like I've done goofed myself.
Yep. It's like, oh, double fuck. Listen, if I can make TikTok references, I'm gonna make TikTok references. I have a dancing pig in front of my face called Arson. I think I can make a few memes.
It's just a few, just like a light sprinkle.
Because I will tell you something about Arson. He was supposed to be called Nugget. My chat saw him and they say, you know what? This is a pig that dances. It should be called like a felony. And now it's called Arson.
Yeah. You know what? It's fine. There's this one kid at school. I told him my name was Vic, and he was like, "What's Vic short for?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just Vic." And he's like, "Vehicular manslaughter." So now Ryan at school calls me vehicular manslaughter.
That is hilarious. They just call you vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah, vehicular manslaughter. Like that means like I guess that's like killing somebody with a car.
Yeah, it is. I cannot pronounce it though. Vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah, so I totally get Arson. I totally relate to him.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like you could have
Get it. Some people's nicknames just don't work out.
Yeah, no, they do not. They are just like vehicular manslaughter. That is a very cool nickname. People just call me Hats. So like, they just abbreviate my name. That's it. No felonies here. I'm a child of the law. I am an anarchist. I am not. You're like rule number 11. Respect authority. Only if they are not challenging your rights. And otherwise, break the windshield. I skipped the first stage. It's a joke. Okay, so we are actually like we're like 5 minutes from running out of time. Is there anything else you want to say or something you want to promote?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, honestly, thank you for coming.
And I'll definitely tell more people to like check out this podcast. I think I didn't watch the whole video like other episodes, but I watched parts of them and they were very good. So I definitely I think it's great that you're doing this. I love this and I just want to say you're doing a great job doing it.
Oh, thank you so much. You also did a great job here today. It was very fun having you too. I'm going to keep that Adam Lambert thing in my heart for the rest of the day I die, honestly. It is very cool.
I'm glad I mentioned it. I'm glad I remembered.
It is very cool. It is like very cool. Oh my god. Honestly, thank you so much for coming, Vic. If you guys want to follow Vic, you can find them on TikTok as ChcltCvrdStbrrs with no vowels. That is how it's written. ChcltCvrdStbrrs with no vowels. I still have to think before I write it. It is very funny.
It's all good. And if you ever want to have me on the podcast again for anything else,
yeah, don't worry. I am actually planning.
Message. This was so much fun.
Yeah, it was honestly so much fun to have you too. Thank you so much for coming. Goodbye, chat. See you next Sunday when we are like. Wait a second. I forgot the name. It's a cosplay name. Next Sunday, we have a very important guest that you will love to see. I hope you come. Remember, every Sunday 3 p.m. PST, and sometimes in special occasions, also Tuesdays 3 p.m. PST. You can come every week and you can find us. We also do fanfiction reading nights on Thursdays at 4 p.m. PST. I say night because for me that is 9 p.m. That is a very, very nice thing. A detail I want to talk about. What? Third one. I am not talking to you. Okay. Goodbye, chat. Thank you for coming. You can find us on Spotify as Fancast Podcast with Hatsui. You can find us on YouTube as Fancast Podcast. And you can find us here at Hatsui Cast. Goodbye.